Good morning, junk removal warriors. Joseph here, Vets Hall Junk Removal, Stafford, Virginia. So I want to hear your opinion on what I'm about to talk about. I'm speaking with a junk removal entrepreneur who is thinking about driving an hour every day to a more populated area of his county in order to work more, because his current place where he lives is not very populated. I told him I don't think that's sustainable. Vets Hall Junk Removal has a work where you live philosophy, in that when we have individuals reach out to us who are interested in becoming part of the Vets Hall Junk Removal family, we have a list of criteria that they must meet in order for us to take them to the next level. One of them being, what is your population in the area of which you live? We decline a lot of interested candidates because they don't meet that very important criteria. Guys, if where you live doesn't have a large enough population in order to support your junk removal business, your junk removal business will probably not survive the long term. That's the number one reason we decline individuals. If your area has established junk removal companies already in operation, like Got Junk, College Hunks, Hauling Junk, there is a very good possibility that another junk removal company will survive in that area. But driving an hour at the beginning of the day and then driving back home another hour at the end of the day, I just don't think it's possible. There is not an absolute right way to serve your customers. I know there are some guys who say they drive an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm not saying that every once in a while you shouldn't drive 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours to do a job. But the job has to be worth the squeeze. You have to be earning, I have to be earning significantly in order for me to drive an hour and a half to Baltimore, Maryland. I've done it, but I do it to the tune of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. But to do that day in, day out, my argument, it wasn't an argument, but my points to him were, typically a viable junk removal team is two men, usually the owner and an assistant. If your assistant is sitting for an hour on the way to the job and an hour on the way home, that's 2 hours that you're paying your employee for doing nothing. That gets real expensive over the course of a year. Not to mention the fact that you're putting so much wear and tear on your vehicle before you even get to the job. On top of that, with gas prices rising, guys, before you launch your junk removal company, you need to do significant market research. I talk to a lot of junk removal entrepreneurs who reach out to me and are wondering why their phone isn't ringing. Well, maybe you didn't do enough research in your market to justify you launching your junk removal business. Not every area, not every community is ripe for a junk removal business. One of the other criteria that must be met by a candidate is there has to be a landfill within a reasonable distance from your office, headquarters, home base. If there's not, guys, once again, you're going to be spending a lot of time on the road. If you have employees, you're paying those employees for nothing. Guys, like I said, there's no one right or wrong way. You serve your customers the way you see fit. But for Vets Hall Junk, and you as well, you should adopt a work where you live mentality. You know, here in the Washington, D.C. area, we spend a significant amount of time in traffic. If you're driving an hour to the job and you're sitting in traffic another 15 or 20 minutes every other day, you might be looking at 3 hours a day, guys, sitting in traffic. Instead, funnel all that gas money, all that wasted payroll for your employee just sitting in your truck doing nothing, all that wear and tear on your vehicle, and invest it in Google AdWords. Invest it in good SEO so that you can exploit to the fullest, to the absolute fullest, your small population in your area. I just don't think, and I told him this, and I felt bad telling him this because I never want to squash another entrepreneur's dreams, but I would really think twice. If that individual that I'm talking about was a veteran, and he came to me and he said, hey, my population is very little. I'm thinking I'd have to drive an hour to work significantly. Can I be a part of the Vets Hall junk removal team? We would have to decline him, guys, because we want to set up our veteran entrepreneurs with the best possible chance at success. And with the variables of having to drive an hour or more day in, day out to get to that highly populated area, and then driving an hour or more to get back home, we'd have to decline him, guys. We would definitely have to decline him. So think about that work where you live philosophy. I think that is the best philosophy, and that almost guarantees you success as far as that variable goes. There's all kinds of other variables that, we keep as part of our checklist, but those are just the two most important. So that being said, tell me about what you think. Would you drive an hour or more every day just to get to a more populated area and then another hour and a half back, or not? Let me know. Leave me your opinion in the comments. If you're in Northern Virginia and you have stuff that you want removed, reach out to the Junk Removal Company powered by veterans and patriots at 540-657-VETS. That's 540-657-8387. You can also find us online at vetshauljunk.com. That's vetshauljunk.com. I'm Joseph, owner of Vets Hall Junk Removal in Stafford, Virginia, and we're on the move, making things happen. Rock, 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 rock,